She faced mockery, disruptions, and efforts to undermine her standing. At this moment, it is they who find themselves beseeching for compassion. Karoline Leavitt had faced her share of daunting interviews before. She had encountered her fair share of resistance, especially from the liberal press. Yet, this moment stood apart. This was more than just a clash of ideas or a debate of opinions. It was a deliberate and bold assault. She received an invitation to join the talk program, where the aim was to delve into the intricacies of policy. That is how they chose to unfold it. Yet, the moment she settled into her seat, she sensed a shift in the atmosphere. The atmosphere in the room was charged, unlike the usual exchange of differing perspectives. This feeling was akin to a sudden surprise attack. The opening questions followed a familiar path, perhaps even leaning towards the expected. In an unexpected moment, "Let's speak truthfully, Karoline. Your credentials are the very reason for your absence. Your presence here is a testament to your unwavering loyalty. Could that be the reason behind your hiring?" The crowd reacted without delay. Whispers of surprise, soft exclamations, and the occasional suppressed laughter. Karoline felt the change in the air, though her face betrayed nothing. This had transformed into something far beyond an interview. She captivated the audience, drawing them into the heart of the performance. Her breath flowed like a calm river, steady and measured. With unwavering resolve, she steeled herself against the tide of emotions threatening to overwhelm her. That is exactly what they yearned for. "I stand here today, a testament to my hard work and dedication that has brought me to this moment. When we find ourselves at odds, let us engage in a dialogue about our policies instead of resorting to personal attacks." Yet, they found no yearning for a policy. A response was what they sought. Before unleashing the next blow, one of the other hosts flashed a sly grin, his gaze sweeping over the audience. "Is it something that is earned, or is it bestowed upon us? From where we stand, it seems that loyalty is the only true credential in today's world." This time, the audience erupted in applause. Karoline felt the weight of the situation pressing down on her. The segment was crafted with great care and precision. The words were carefully crafted. The aim was not to engage in debate. It was a moment of profound humiliation. The following moments unfolded with a flurry of interruptions, mocking laughter, and pointed questions designed to paint her in a light of inadequacy. Regardless of her words, they were met with complete disregard, reshaped or distorted. The program did not center around conversation. It was a tale of mastery. Karoline, however, remained whole. With unwavering poise, she delivered her responses grounded in truth, steadfastly resisting their attempts to draw her into an emotional frenzy. As the segment drew to a close, the presenter reaffirmed their stance with unwavering conviction. "We find ourselves hindered by individuals like you. In the depths of your being, you recognize that you are but a pawn in this grand narrative." Stillness. Karoline's jaw clenched with determination. Not born from fury, from a deeper wellspring, a moment of clarity. They were not attacking her, for they held a firm belief in the validity of their claims. In a moment driven by fear, they turned against her. With a gentle grace, she radiated warmth. "If standing firm in my beliefs makes me a vessel, then I embrace that role. Yet, I am no puppet on strings." And so, the segment came to a close. The lenses fell silent. The damage was done. Thus, it was thought. Yet, they gravely misjudged one crucial element. The following reply. The clip ignited a frenzy, racing across the internet with astonishing speed. It spread like wildfire in mere hours. Twitter, YouTube, and every conservative news platform. At first, the network sought to shape the tale. They left out the segment, framing it as just another fervent discussion, and pushed their usual headlines. Yet, this was not enough to mask the occurrences that unfolded, for the reason that the full, unaltered edition has just been unveiled. Moreover, it illustrated a completely different scene. Conservatives were filled with a deep fury. Anger coursed through them like a storm, fierce and unrelenting. The comment sections overflowed with accusations of media bias, double standards, and overt bullying. Even those who did not passionately back Karoline found themselves unable to deny the compelling evidence they had witnessed. They had yet to weave a narrative about her. She had been wronged by them. Hashtags have burst forth in a vibrant display. The influence of partiality in journalism. Karoline stands firm in her convictions. Once upon a time, there was a dish known as hash. Cease the presentation. Members of the Republican Party stepped forward to share their perspectives. The exchange was scrutinized meticulously, each frame dissected by cautious commentators. Even among those who lean liberal, there was a recognition that the host's actions crossed a line into unprofessional territory, leaving many feeling uneasy. Yet, the tale did not end there. The sponsors of the program started to emerge, revealing their identities one by one. Viewers were profoundly dissatisfied. Every action was intentional. They bombarded advertisers with inquiries, questioning their support for a platform that openly belittled women who diverged from its political stance. Some organizations sought to overlook it. Others shared their usual remarks. Yet, in a sudden twist, one of the key sponsors pulled out. Their statement was carefully woven to sidestep any controversy, all the while delivering the message they aimed to share. They sought to distance themselves from discourse that lacked professionalism and fostered division. That was the first piece to fall in the grand tale. Then, the rest soon came along. Once upon a time, the network faced an unexpected disruption. Method of managing harm. Whispers of hysteria from unnamed sources began to circulate. Executives seek to unravel the details. Vivid debates surrounding the revival of power. At first, the presenters of the show chose to remain quiet, but eventually, they released a lukewarm statement that touched on fervent debates and differing viewpoints. Alas, the moment had passed. Karoline had yet to share her words with the world. She had no duty to do so. Whispers began to circulate, hinting at something far more profound on the horizon. Whispers spread through the air, hinting that she was preparing to take legal action for defamation, targeted harassment, professional damage, and perhaps even orchestrated media wrongdoing. The network had faced backlash in the past. They had weathered storms of controversy. Yet, what if we consider this? This was unique. In a shadowy office in Washington, D.C., Karoline found herself seated before her legal team. The table was a chaotic tapestry of documents, with some still warm from their recent journey through the printer's embrace. The aftermath was unmistakable. This transcended the realm of a simple political debate or fleeting viral moment. Our tale revolves around the theme of accountability. A seasoned attorney, a woman rich in experience with media litigation, reclined and placed her pen aside. The angle of defamation is intriguing, yet we can also argue that there is a significant impact on one's professional reputation. This was not solely about criticism. A carefully orchestrated endeavor aimed at eroding your reputation. Karoline absorbed every word with keen interest. She preferred to avoid diving headfirst into legal battles right away. Yet, this was something entirely different. This tale transcended her feelings. This relates to a prior example. As they pressed on with their digging, the circumstances took a turn for the worse. Whispers of internal communications came to light. Whispers of clandestine exchanges among producers, and staff hinted that the segment was crafted as a calculated exposure piece, rather than unfolding as a sincere interview. A particular line captured my interest. Make certain that she stumbles. Sever the connection if she starts to feel too comfortable. That was not an exploration of knowledge. What transpired was a cunning trap laid in wait. The revelation came to light on the next morning. Karoline Leavitt was embarking on a journey to seek justice through legal channels. The network sprang into action, a whirlwind of chaos and urgency enveloping the scene. Their attorneys swiftly crafted statements that condemned the lawsuit as nothing more than a frivolous endeavor and a desperate political charade. Yet, the destruction was already intensifying. Karoline had stepped out of the spotlight of the lawsuit. Once upon a time, a compelling conversation unfolded, delving into the intricate realm of media ethics, particularly focusing on how certain voices are portrayed on the grand stage of national platforms. The backlash grew stronger. The count of advertisers who stepped back grew. The program's ratings took a downward turn. Viewers from all perspectives began to pose the same question. What drove them to rush when there was no need to conceal themselves? In the aftermath, an unexpected twist unfolded. At first, a former producer chose to share their identity in secret, but eventually they revealed it to the world. In a revealing interview, she confirmed what had long been whispered among many. The program carried a legacy of belittling conservative guests. Producers were guided to craft the narrative, sever connections, subtly jest at their expense, and thrust them into disquieting scenarios. She shared a collection of emails, memoranda, and even raw footage from past interviews. Visual narratives that illuminated the issue. The unfolding of Karoline's fate was no mere coincidence. It was a tradition passed down through the ages. In an instant, what once was just a legal battle transformed into something far more significant. This was a revelation. Furthermore, what can be said about the network? Their choices for weaving the narrative were dwindling. The atmosphere inside the network's headquarters felt heavy and stifling. In a whirlwind of urgency, PR specialists wove together the perfect damage control statement, while legal teams gathered in intense discussions around conference tables, and executives issued commands with a sense of authority. Though they had faced their share of challenges before, this moment was not just another chapter in a negative narrative. This was a profound crisis. Once upon a time, there was a former producer whose testimony unraveled secrets, while the emails that came to light whispered tales of intrigue. Meanwhile, the advertisers, sensing the shifting tides, chose to withdraw, leaving a story ripe with tension and uncertainty. What unfolds in the present moment? Karoline's lawsuit was gathering steam. The network released an official statement, yet it failed to make an impact. We hold firm in our commitment to fostering an environment of free and open dialogue. While we express our regrets for any confusion, we believe that our presenters engaged in a way that truly embodied the essence of lively discussion. That was a carefully crafted non-apology, and it only deepened the turmoil. The audience could see it right away. By the break of dawn, the social media platforms of the show were engulfed in a whirlwind of activity. Comments have been turned off. There was a notable surge in the number of dislikes. A multitude of advertisers chose to cut ties, releasing vague statements about reassessing their collaborations. The message was clear and unmistakable. The corporate benefactors paid no mind to the rising heat. Then came the first major internal loss. One of the show's main producers stepped down from their role. It was described in the press release as a decision made together. Yet, the hidden truth emerged through the whispers of those in the know. They were striving to tame the raging inferno. Alas, the moment had passed. The legal proceedings had now begun in a manner befitting their seriousness. Karoline's team sought internal records through a subpoena, delving into the depths of targeted defamation and the intricate web of coordinated media bias in their quest for further evidence. And what tales did they uncover? Surpassed all expectations in a most unfortunate way. Further exchanges. Supplementary materials. Further undeniable proof that the network was not simply sharing news. They were weaving their influence into it. Then arrived the most profound revelation of all. A second former employee revealed who they are. This time, the conversation ventured beyond the confines of the talk program. The whole network took center stage. It was said that this was merely the tip of the iceberg, with certain visitors being intentionally discredited, silenced, and ridiculed to fit a narrative that had already been crafted. Karoline's case had transformed, now weaving a narrative that extended beyond just her own journey. The very essence of the media institution's credibility hung in the balance. The network found itself facing a disquieting truth as the legal battle deepened. They had transcended the simple notion of a conflict with Karoline. They stood in defiance of the truth. The courtroom brimmed with people, each one a witness to the unfolding drama. Every seat was filled with eager reporters. They are ready to capture every nuance with their cameras and journals. The view from outside revealed an even greater chaos. A vibrant assembly of protesters, supporters, and media vehicles stretched out in a line that meandered for several blocks. This was not just a legal battle. It had transformed into a vibrant arena of cultural conflict. Karoline sat beside her counsel, her demeanor calm and focused, embodying a quiet strength in the moment. Weeks of meticulous preparation had led her to this momentous occasion. The network's legal team was truly impressive. Yet, she understood that their struggle extended beyond just her. They were facing the shadows of their past misdeeds. The trial commenced with the opening arguments, setting the stage for the unfolding drama. The advocate for Karoline shared a lucid narrative. This case does not center around political disagreements. Our tale today revolves around the theme of media accountability. Our client faced professional setbacks, endured discredit, and became the target of unwarranted attention through the artful weaving of untruths instead of the straightforward path of genuine reporting. Then, the tale of the evidence unfolded. The unraveling of conversations. The account of the producer. The raw footage from earlier interviews revealed a clear and deliberate pattern of bias at play. The grip on the network grew ever tighter with each passing element. Their defense team sought to argue that heated discussions were the norm. Karoline was simply playing the part of the victim. The former producer then stepped into the spotlight. She recounted, with unwavering conviction, that the producers had been given explicit pre-show directives to ensure that conservative guests were never portrayed as holding a position of power. As her voice echoed through the room, a hush enveloped the courtroom, captivated by the words of the email she read aloud. Do not let her finish her sentences. Keep the reins firmly in your grasp. Offer a soft critique. Undermine her credibility. The facade of impartiality in the interview was shattered by that one striking line. The network's attorneys contended that the essence of the program lay in entertainment, not in the realm of journalism. Their contention was that guests ought to prepare for thought-provoking questions. Yet, Karoline's advisor countered with an argument that was even more compelling. A collection of moving images woven together. An unembellished examination of how liberal guests are treated in contrast to conservative guests. On one side, there were interviews marked by respect, responses that flowed without interruption, and questions that were gentle and inviting. The alternative? Unwavering disruptions. Offense, untruth. Veiled as a conversation, these are budget-friendly images. The jury sat in quiet contemplation. The difference was undeniable. In the aftermath, the financial records came to life. Karoline's team unveiled evidence that vividly illustrated the measurable decline of her standing. All speaking engagements have been called off. Opportunities turned away, intentionally trying to suppress her. At that exact moment, the case took a turn. This had evolved beyond a simple media uproar. In that instant, clarity washed over me. As the closing arguments drew to a close, the jury found themselves faced with but a single matter to ponder. Did the network cross the lines that had been set? The nation held its breath, waiting with bated anticipation for the verdict to be revealed. The jury's verdict arrived quicker than expected. All eyes were fixed on the door as the judge stepped back into the courtroom, a palpable tension hanging in the air. Karoline sat quietly, her hands gently resting in her lap, a picture of calm contemplation. The once confident legal team of the network now seemed to be running on empty. The foreperson took a bold stance. In a compelling turn of events, Karoline Leavitt emerges victorious in her battle against defamation and professional harm as the jury delivers its decisive verdict. Astonished responses, whispers, a scattering of gasps, and wide-eyed wonder. Karoline gently shut her eyes, releasing a breath as the weight of the past few months began to lift away. Significant destruction unfolded. A resolution that surpasses the million-dollar mark. A public declaration of wrongdoing. In a turn of events, the network found itself in the position of having to extend a heartfelt apology to all guests impacted by their strategies, extending beyond just Karoline. Yet, the repercussions did not end there. The performance has been officially called off. The network described it as a decision to reshape its structure. Yet, the truth was unmistakably acknowledged. Advertisers were choosing not to come back. The brand was overwhelmingly toxic. A larger group of employees stepped in. Further dubious practices came to light. This was not just a bump in the road for the network. It marked a turning point in the saga of political media. Furthermore, Karoline, her profession not only survived, it thrived magnificently. She emerged as a beacon of defiance against the forces of media manipulation, engaging in conversations, securing publishing deals, and building an even more vibrant presence. Yet, she chose not to use it as a means to convey her delight. Instead, she shared this with the audience. It's not merely about silencing those whose views clash with yours. It's fundamentally about holding each other accountable. The purpose of the media is not to shape reality. Instead, it aims to convey it as it is. Furthermore, what might that be? That message was impossible to overlook. If this tale stirred your thoughts, kindly share it. The tale of accountability and media bias is far from over. Make certain that your voice resonates. For more captivating tales that push the boundaries of storytelling, please subscribe. What comes from the truth? It continually unfolds.